Hello everyone, and welcome back to Divine Rebel. My name is Racey, and I'm going to be giving the messages today. These are Full Moon in Aquarius, Storm Wisdom, Secret Code Names. If you did not get one, but you resonate to one of the code names, there is most likely a message in there for you. If you did get one, you know who you are. All right, for those of you not familiar with me or the channel, I have no filter and I do not sugarcoat my messages. So if you're new, I'm always giving you the opportunity to sign off now, if you have kids around or just don't appreciate that kind of thing. So, day one of our full moon in Aquarius event, we are doing secret code names: Sales, Thick as Butter, the Diaper Genie, Choir Practice, To-Do List, and Yogi Bear. All right, those are the code names for today. Tomorrow we're going to have the White Rabbit, Hummingbird Magic, Gray Crowned Crane, Gargoyle Guardians. If you resonate with one of those ones, you can watch tomorrow. We're getting into sales. Now I've pulled 4 decks. All right, these Storm Wisdom readings are to help you understand what the lesson was, so that it need not repeat. So I'm going to pull my Night Sun Tarot to find out what it was that was going on in the storm. I'm going to pull from my Naked Heart Tarot to give you some insights into what is coming after the storm. I'm going to pull from my Archetype deck by Carolyn Miss to help you understand what the lesson was. And then I'm going to pull from my Whispers of Love deck by Angela Hartfield as an action, right? An action in the vibration of love that you can take moving out of the storm. So, sales. We'll get, 222. I'm going to get started at 222. Here we go. Secret code name sales. So what was it, Spirit? For sales and those who would resonate to this code name. What was going on in the storm? What does the storm look like? Give me some insight into the vibration of the storm. For secret code name sales and those who would resonate to this code name. What does the storm look like? What does it look like? What else? Okay. So probably back, because we've got the 10 of Cups here, and it's Mars and Pisces. So, Mars is in Aries now, and it's been, but when Mars was back in Pisces earlier this year, I think you were in this place of what I'm getting is like emotional entanglement with this fulfillment feeling, right? Maybe you felt like everything was turning around or everything was great, or you felt you knew what your emotional fulfillment was, and then some kind of communication came in, and 5 of Coins, it was feeling left abandoned, right? Feeling like you had to beg or plead for it, like everything you were doing wasn't enough. The Magician on the bottom. And the Queen of Swords on top. So you probably ended up having to really speak some hard truth or harsh truth from your heart space in order to work some magic with the connection you have to whoever that individual was, because something had to go. It was emotionally tangled. All right, so the storm was being emotionally tangled and getting this communication or this feeling that either you had to communicate it or somebody else communicated it, that you had to move on, and it wasn't working. And so it's, it's this feeling of being misplaced, like you're walking away from somewhere that maybe you felt like you were meant to be, you know? And that's hard. So, what's coming after the storm, Spirit? For secret code name sales. And those who would resonate to it. What's coming after the storm? Got the Knight of Cups, Two of Wands, and the Universe. All right. With the Three of Wands on the bottom and the Sun on the top. So listen. Three of Wands on bottom, Sun on top. Someone's making a move. All right. So after all of this storm, right, having to be honest and truthful, and it wasn't necessarily the best feel-good feelings, right, when you were in this moment, because, you know, your emotions are all kinds of tangled up in there. Like, this is your dream, you know, this is when you envision your happy moments. Like, that's what you picture, or who you picture. And there was this need to communicate a feeling of, you know, being alone in the dynamic, right, whatever it was, whatever the dynamic was. Being alone in the dynamic, like you didn't have your team, right? The support structure with whoever this was. So now, coming out of the storm, we do have the Knight of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Universe, or the World card. And so this cycle's closing. I think you're going to have a communication come in that's sincere and understanding. Sincere and understanding of whatever these past events were. And I think it's a matter of being able to cross that threshold and make that choice to move forward and spark that change. Take that window of opportunity or that portal to close a cycle. Okay. Which is awesome, right? This is what comes after the storm. Like, going through all of this, like, sometimes, you know, you might have to tell somebody the harsh truth and give them time to reflect on it. You know, it goes back to that cake in the oven analogy. It's like, you want the cake to be ready and you want to enjoy it, but if, you know, you know, take it out early and test it. Sometimes it's not ready. You know, you put the toothpick in the cake, it's not ready. You have to put it back in the oven, it's just not ready. So whatever this was, you know, the cake wasn't ready. And so, you know, it needed time. It needed time to bake with the universe for a little bit and understand what is coming for it, you know. Spirit, give me some insight, please, into the light and shadow of this. Vampire and Gossip. That's crazy. These two cards came out in the pre-shuffle. When I was shuffling through the decks, just clearing the energies, these cards popped out twice, and they're coming out for your reading. So listen. Haters are gonna hate, and people are gonna fucking gossip, and they're gonna say things that never fucking happen. They're gonna vilify people so that they don't look like the villain. People spread rumors, they assume or insinuate things like, well, they didn't lie, but they kind of insinuated something. You know what I mean? There's going to be all kinds of energy like that. You might have been dealing with other people like that. I think, you know, being emotionally entangled with someone where there's a lot of fucking drama, or people are looking at you cross-eyed like, what are you doing? You know, maybe you see something. You know, maybe you're coming into this energy of feeling like you were sucked dry, feeling like you were depleted, you know, mentally, psychically drained, right? Energetically drained. With people that are just, you know, codependent or constantly complaining. People that don't hold communications with you sacred, you know what I mean? Like when you invest in sharing a part of yourself with someone, that people would talk about it later or gossip later or hold it against you later or use it against you later, like those kind of low energies. I think that you've spent a lot of time considering someone like that, someone who doesn't necessarily understand the ramifications of their actions, you know, that it's recklessly inconsiderate. And I think that if you put somebody like that in their place or called them on their shit and maybe even cut them off, right, that Queen of Swords energy, or you have it, you know, that sensing that you had to. Not only are you aware now of what is draining of your energy in general, but you being able to stand up for yourself in consideration of yourself and honoring that trust that the love you do put out there is not for nothing, that eventually comes to fruition. And the love that you put out there is not for nothing. You know, people understand whether you have a future with them or not. People learn and understand the point that you are making. And it does heal in hindsight, you know what I mean? So it's not for nothing. And anybody who was talking, you know, behind your back or shit on you before, they're really going to have no room to speak. You know what I mean? They're just not. So what action can you take in unconditional love to stay in this vibration after the storm so that you don't go into another one? That's what this deck's for. What can you do in the vibration of love as an action to stay in this, you know, vibration after the storm and not find yourself in a new one? What card of all other cards, Spirit, please? For secret code names, sales. And those who would resonate to it. Miracles and blessings. Everything has its gift. Everything has its gift. You know, it's like that time heals all things kind of thing. Everything has its gift. There's always a time for the old to fall away and to retreat into ourselves and digest things that we've said or things that we've done, or evaluate other people's actions or behavior, or choose to try and see things differently because we don't want to be in, you know, anger or resentment or sadness, or, you know, we don't want to feel taken for granted or that we were stupid, you know. And it's just like, you know, everything has its time and place. Everything has its time and place. Love is never wasted. Love is never wasted. And it does always come back, you know, it always comes back to life in some which way, shape, or form. It's not always the same, but it's usually better. It's bigger and better than before. It's stronger. It's more abundant. Be grateful to be able to be the teacher of this. You know, that you sparked the beginning of transformation for people like this, because sometimes people like this need to be loved and they need to lose and not be vilified or hated for being imperfect or hurt people, right? It's almost like you understand that hurt people, and so even though they're hurtful, you don't hold that against them and make them feel necessarily like a fucking terrible person for it, you know what I mean? But you let them know that you're not going to condone and put up with that shit either. Like, you're too fucking grown for that, you know? And that forces other people to kind of shape up and grow with you. So I hope that helps give you some insight. Like, it's okay. So if you're ever faced with this kind of stuff again, like, don't let your emotions get all bent out of shape or out of whack or anything like that. Just know that whenever you have to move forward, you move forward, and that's fine. Whenever you have to say it like it is, that's fine. You know, you're not coming from a malicious, angry place. It's just honest to God truth. And when you come from that level of understanding and know that you're being called forward like that, to be that, miracles and blessings come of it, right? Hindsight's always 20/20. So that was secret codename sales. We are going to get into thick as butter. Secret codename thick as butter. Time 14:21. Okay. Just do a quick shuffle. All right, secret codename thick as butter. Ooh. Am I here, guys? I just had someone try and call me. Just let me know if I'm still here and I'm not like lagging or anything. All right. Okay. I'm good. 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 McKenna, can you do me a favor? Can you let our beautiful blonde bombshell in California know that I'm live right now? Can you just shoot her a message? Let her know I'm live, and I'll answer her as soon as I can. We're gonna restart at 15:25 for thick as butter. Okay. Secret code name thick as butter. Let's get started. Spirit, please. What insights can you give us for what the storm looked like? What does the storm look like so that it need not repeat, right? What did the storm look like? Give me one more. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Hermit. Top of the deck is the Ace of Coin. So you always are hopeful of this solid new foundation and end up finding yourself alone. And the issue being, we've got the Five of Cups with the Knight of Wands and Temperance. I think you have this thing for being the angel who doesn't leave those cups bleeding on the wall. You know, it's like your energy isn't necessarily the strongest because you can see this masculine energy, which, you know, is within. The masculine energy isn't necessarily the strongest character. He looks a little bit frail, but he looks like he's put in a lot of effort. You know, it looks like it's a trial, you know, every time they go in there to this wall and try and, you know, almost salvage or save these bleeding cups. And there's a lot of passion and there's a lot of connection with the Knight of Wands, and that needs to temper, right? That needs to temper. It goes from maybe too low to too high too fast. You know what I mean? It's too strong. It's making too much of a swing, right, in the energy from one side to the other, that it's, and you know, the pendulum, it's like, well, if it starts back here and it swings all the way here, well, it has to swing all, you know, it swings all the way back. So it's, you know, going through this cycle of being so excited for the new beginning, right, the solid new start, being so excited for it, and ended up finding yourself alone. And I think it's just because where you're meeting people in order to bring them up is just, it's too far away from the vibration that you actually want to resonate in. And so it's almost like you have to elevate your own vibration, right? Tempering it. You have to elevate your own vibration and allow those cups to kind of meet you there, meet you in your rise when they elevate, you know, because here they're just cups, they're just vessels, and they're bled out and empty. But here, where Temperance usually holds cups, she's holding two heads, and one is pouring into the other. And it's almost like, you know, with the throat chakra, because the one, you know, the one is pouring from the mouth into the mind of the other. It's understanding what you say and what is said to you that fills the mind matters. It matters. You know, the things people say matter. When you feel empathically their energy when they're in their lows, it matters, and it triggers this fire in you to heal, right? This almost like initiation by fire, where you want to light them up and just rock everything, you know what I mean, and get it going, that Ace of Pentacles energy. But they've got to meet you on a mental level. They can't just be a vessel. They have to be a mind. Right? They can't just be an empty vessel in the world. They have to have their own mind, and you have to be able to pour into each other mentally, like have that. So, what does after the storm look like? Spirit, please. What does after the storm look like for thick as butter? And even with that code name, like if you think about like the awkwardness to go from such a low to such a high to back down to a low like that, it makes it very awkward to come back up and reach the same high, because it just gets lower and lower and lower and lower and lower until it stands still. When you swing like that, let me see. Yeah, the Hanged Man. The perspective shifts, right? The perspective shifts. I'm hearing like you almost can't let yourself get carried away. As excited as you are, and as much as you want to just dive in, it's almost like you need the perspective shift so that you don't miss opportunities with the Four of Cups, so that you're able to balance it, right? So you're able to deal with multiple cups, right? You're not this energy anymore. Phew. Oh, I just sneezed. I think that is perspective, right? Anytime we sneeze, that's the third eye chakra clearing way. So I think you're understanding it's when you are healthier in your own energy and you're not going down and into these levels and having to recover from those levels, trying to pull people up from there. When you allow yourself to be in a healthier space, you're able to balance so much more. You know, energetically, emotionally, you're able to take on so much more. It shifts. When you learn how to regulate. Yeah, 9 of coin, and you can just be independent and stable in your own energy, grounded in your own vibration, that you're seeing clear, right? We're just talking about the third eye. There you go. When you really truly love yourself, it reminds me of like Vesta energy in astrology. It's like Vesta energy. It's Venus in Virgo. All right, so Spirit. What is the archetypal energy of the storm? Whoa. Yeah, the healer and the dilettante. Okay. So the healer and the dilettante. This is letting go of being taken advantage of by people who need help and failing to care for yourself. Shadow of the healer. And pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. Thinking you know more about somebody than you do. Like, because you can be empathic and really have compassion and hear their story and feel like you know them deeply, you really don't know. You really don't know what it is truly like to be them and be in their mind and in their heart, and what that's like today, you know, with all of the experiences that you don't know, you know, and it's feeling taken for granted because you're caring so much for someone else and you're just not paying enough mind to yourself, right? And that's exactly what this is. So the light attribute is this passion to serve others by repairing your own body, mind, and spirit, and your ability to transform pain into healing. You know, that you're able to bounce back from this and learn how to regulate, learn how to balance emotions and maintain stability there. You know, being able to embrace nurturing the self and putting yourself first, and what's important and what you need first. You know, when you need people to reciprocate, not let the dynamic lose its energy. And delighting in, you know, the art without, you know, having to be a professional, or finding yourself being creative, you know, getting into a hobby, meeting new people, you know what I mean, connecting with new energies, and really looking forward to being in the present moment, really being in the present moment. So what action step here, Spirit, please? What actions? You know, I'm hearing like lighten up the room, like lighten up the energy. Like, I don't know if where you live it's kind of dark in there. Maybe you should, you know, get some more light in there, like natural light if you can. I'm hearing lighten up the room, and put yourself in lighter energy. You know what I mean? If you go places, be around places that have like nice big windows, lots of natural light. Just get out more. Allow yourself to feel light. What action, Spirit, please? For secret code name, thick as butter. And those who would resonate to it. Yeah, choose love, demonstrate love, appreciate this moment, like attracts like, spiritual connection. The relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Does it not? Does it not? When you're willing to go down to a dark place like that to reach a soul, it's because you deeply love them. It's very deep. You know that. That's why you're willing to do it. But there's boundaries. And you have to choose love and demonstrate love, not just for that other person, but for yourself. Appreciate the beauty of the now moment. Remember that like attracts like. Keep your vibration light. Keep it in trust, right? We were just talking about how, love is never wasted. Love is never wasted. It just needs time sometimes. Love requires patience. Lots of 3 energy. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Stay in your light. Stay in your light. Okay. The Diaper Genie is next. Secret code name, the Diaper Genie. 27 minutes. Okay. So Spirit, please. For secret code name, the Diaper Genie. For secret code name, the Diaper Genie. What does the storm look like, Spirit? What does the storm look like? For secret code name, the Diaper Genie, and those who would resonate to it. What is the storm? Okay. Bottom of the deck is Judgment. Top of the deck is the 5 of Swords. Okay. It is that moment of truth, isn't it? when I'm looking at this Judgment card, it really does look like it's that moment of truth. It is that moment of truth. And I think you already know or sense something's off. And with the 5 of Swords, there might be arguments, or someone might be seriously mentally conflicted or having mental like nightmares or tormenting thoughts, okay? Someone might be really struggling when I see this card, because they even look like they're sitting in like a swampy wall. and it's that time, right? It's that day. We have the Page of Cups with the Hanged Man and the Fool. The Storm. This is a very petty attachment emotionally to mine. An emotional mine This is not a mine, like a thing that's my thing. It's my emotional escape. It's my emotional peace. It's my emotional separation. It's my emotional protection, whatever it is. They're being protective of their emotional cup, right? They're being protective of their cup, and the perspective needs to shift. The perspective needs to shift because the Fool in this deck, it's kind of like it's going down, and it has like the hellhounds, right? This, you know, devil kind of dog just chomping at the feet, you know, kind of energy, chasing this Fool, and he doesn't even know where he's going. It's like about to fall down the rabbit hole kind of thing. It's not about walking off the cliff. It's about falling down the rabbit hole. This hanged man, you know, this is an interesting image because his head is in a cage and he's being stabbed all over. You know, this is not your typical hanged man card. It's feeling like they can't move. And mentally, it's because they refuse to move, right? There's a mental refusal to move, which, you know, is mirroring in your own self. You know, if you're protecting yourself emotionally with a belief or a behavior that you don't feel like you could change, not move, not even an inch, but you know you're going down the rabbit hole, you know, that's what needs to be recognized here with the Judgment, because it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's a constant source of argument or agitation, right? Having this need to emotionally protect and guard. No, I need to do this, or I need to believe this, or I need to do whatever because, you know, emotionally it makes me feel safe or at peace. It emotionally brings me comfort. And so it's like protecting this belief that's not actually serving you. It's keeping you very stuck and making you feel like you can't move. And it's just always, it feels like it's always going downhill. There's no real reprieve, right? So, what does it look like after the storm? What does it look like after the storm, Spirit? For secret code name, the Diaper Genie. Okay. So I've got the Tower with the Devil, the Ace of Swords with the Ten of Swords, the Movement of Cups or the Knight with the Three of Wands and the Heart of the Heart of Cups, which is the Queen. I think every time that this, you know, Fool stuck in their headspace, right, feeling like they can't move, this energy of constantly maybe even, you know, battling someone's demons, battling someone else's wrong turns, right, with all these different crossroad energies on there. I think at some point after this is all said and done, there's just a rude awakening. And with the Devil card, you know, it's Capricorn energy, it's divine masculine father energy. There's a huge moment. There's a huge moment when they realize that the truth is, you know, the truth is self-betrayal. When, you know, the masculine energy or even your own energy, right? Because it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We're both a mother and father and archetypal energy. You know, we both have to call shots as parents. We both have to stand up for whatever as in any dynamic, you know, we have to stand up for the highest good of the whole that we're in. And This is recognizing how your own actions, the truth in your own actions or choices or beliefs, is sabotaging you, right? And it's mirroring in your outer experience. Like the outer experience, the storm can't change unless you choose to change whatever this emotional safety blanket is, right? Things are going to have to change. Then we got the movement of cups with the 3 of wands and the heart of cups. And that's, I think, when you get that heartfelt communication that wells up from within someone, and they see the opportunity, they see the opportunity to love, right? With the Queen of Cups. They are seeing the opportunity to love differently. So the storm itself is a nasty one, and even after the storm comes with a rude awakening, you know what I mean? It's like the aftermath of the storm. It's not just any fucking storm, you know, it's this is a cleanup. You know, this is a major cleanup. Because, you know, everybody kind of needs to be on their A game. So let me pull the archetype cards for codename Diaper Genie. Yeah, the saboteur and the student. Saboteur and the student. Heart chakra energy. Shadow attributes. Inducing self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. And student, an arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So listen. And I love you, so don't take this the wrong way. I love you. It's almost like you have a vast knowledge of how the universe works, and you might think you're applying it, but you're not applying it, okay? You're not actually applying it. Like, if it doesn't feel good, you shouldn't do it. You know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So if everything is, you know, this storm energy is consistent, then you're doing the same thing and expecting different results. You can't, when it's talking about, you know, self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others, you can't take away the importance of someone else's role by catering to the fact that they don't want to step up into their role, right? That they don't want to elevate to the next grade, right? They want to stay stuck or get held back, right? The student. Don't allow all of the knowledge you have to work against you because you're not understanding the application of it. The light attributes of these archetypes, it highlights the fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. Sometimes self-empowerment is not taking everything on for yourself. Sometimes self-empowerment is standing up for your right to not have to put it all on yourself. And really being firm in that. You know, the light attribute of student is humility and devotion to knowledge and the openness of lifelong learning. You have to be receptive to this lesson, because this energy, it runs you into the ground. You can't move. You don't even want to breathe wrong because you might get jabbed. You know what I mean? You can't even, you feel like you can't move. You feel like you can't move. because, you know, someone might blow up, or it might get ugly, you know, or you're afraid of blowing up or getting ugly, but maybe you have to, because it's the truth, right? Because it's the truth. And if you're pissed off, you know, you got to keep in mind there's a part of you that's mad at yourself because you should have, you know, shifted your actions sooner. What's the best course of action for the Diaper Genie? And those who would resonate to this code name, what's the best course of action in love to not go back into the storm, right? To get out of it and stay out of it. A card above all others. Yeah, embrace new opportunity. Embrace this new opportunity of love that's here. It may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. New love. See, you got to bring something new. You got to bring a new vibration into the dynamic. You got to shift. You got to shift. Like this big moment, this truth has to come out so that you can end this. So you can end feeling like you can't move. It's no different with this card, you know, with all the different spikes. It's like, if you move, this is how you're going to end up feeling, and you have to be able to talk about that. It's psychologically too much, right? It's too much. Because this card, he's even holding a black egg, but at the top of it's missing and it looks hollow. You know, like there's nothing that can grow from falling down there in the hole. There's nothing that can grow from down there. You initiate the shift. Get into your own executive energy. On a completely different note, you know, if this Page of Cups is a child that is very emotionally needy moving forward, that they might be having a rude awakening, right? They might be having a rude awakening. So, and that's okay. And that's okay, you know. We all learn sometime. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. You know, this is what you could expect after the storm. I mean, I think that there's definitely potential to really get out of it and stay out of it, but there's steps. There's definite steps, and the vibration most definitely has to shift. And I think once everything is talked about or out and made aware of, that, you know, that well of everything to the surface, I think that's when you're able to kind of mature as a whole, right? The dynamic as a whole can become better, become more, you know, long-term sustainable or feasible, you know, because anything that's super stressful or really heavy in the energy that makes you feel like, you know, you're under a lot of pressure and you can't move, anything like that, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So, next secret code name. Choir practice. Choir practice. Here we go. Okay. And we are going to start. Oh, 4411. How about that? Choir practice. Woo-hoo. Here we go. Here we go. Spirit, please. What is the storm so that it need not repeat? What does the storm look like? What does the storm look like? The secret code name, choir practice, and those who would resonate to it. What does it look like? What does the storm look like? Okay. Okay. Bottom of the deck is strength. Top of the deck is the Five of Swords. All right. So you know it's a nightmare, but you're trying to be strong through it. Right? This is the pattern. This is the storm cycle. So you try and be strong and, you know, remove your ego from the equation, be considerate, and it's a nightmare. Right? And it's a nightmare. Now, specifically, and take it as it resonates, because there's definitely a lot of pregnancy on these cards. If you're not pregnant or thinking about becoming pregnant, then take it as, you know, a metaphor. It's metaphoric. But the cards, we have the Death card. We have the Death card. A pregnant death. With the Eight of Swords. And the King of Swords with the Moon. And there's pregnancy on this card. Okay. You may, one, be afraid of having children with someone. You might be afraid of having children with someone. Because I think this this King of Swords, he has his heart in a cage. And he's guarding it. It's at his feet. He's got his, you know, he's talking whatever he's talking about. The moon energy, they might have maybe even a drinking problem. Okay. You might want to have children with this person if you aren't actually having children with this person already. But or if you're thinking about having children with someone new, this might be the nightmare that you're replaying in your mind from a previous dynamic or relationship. You might even be afraid of, you know, abortion or miscarriage or some kind of, you know, like worried, you know, especially about being in hospitals right now or something like that. You might be having a lot of fear. A lot of fear surrounding this energy or this person. Like, that's what the storm looks like. It's definitely a lot of fear and feeling like you need to be strong when I think that's the illusion. I don't think this is necessarily something you're meant to be strong through. I think it's meant to be something more that you're meant to be strong getting past, right? Moving forward from it. So what does after the storm look like, Spirit? Really, and I just got like, it's almost like acid reflux. It's like your authenticity is like burning to get out. You know, it's you're putting a lot of outer pressure on yourself. Do some solar plexus work. be at ease, because if you're thinking about becoming pregnant or are pregnant by someone like this and you're not comfortable there, or you don't know if it would work and this person's not reassuring you that it's okay and you don't necessarily feel like you could be yourself, you really gotta ask yourself, what do you deserve? Do you deserve better than this? Right? Do you deserve better than this, or do your children deserve better than this? You know, or if they are wonderful, you know, and it's your own mind that's screaming at you with all of these illusions from your past, then you've got to talk to yourself about worthiness. And you deserve to have beautiful dreams, you know, come be a reality. So Spirit, what does this look like? I think you might have to learn how to speak up about what it is you want or what you have issues with, what's making you upset, or it's giving you this nightmare, you know, feeling that makes you want to run or makes you want to leave or makes you not want to be a part of it. Yeah, we got the Ten of Pentacles with the movement of Wands and the movement of Swords. Yeah, this is major soul expression, major truth about what your goals are. You know, you want to have a happy, healthy, stable home environment with a supportive partner, you know, that kind of thing. And you have to voice that, because if someone's not stepping up to fill that role with you, then you deserve to have someone step up and fill that role with you, whether it's them or not. Thank you, Shock, for that. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I think you need to be able to step up and talk about what it is that you aspire to achieve. And if that dream's not possible with whoever you're with, or whatever mindset you're in, if it's not possible because of the mindset you're in, then make sure that you are being really true to yourself and what you want. Don't settle for other than that. We have the Two of Wands at the bottom, like you see the dream. It's just a matter of crossing the threshold. Like you have the vision, you know what you want. It's just a matter of choosing it, right? On a soul level, that you deserve it. Temperance, bringing it into justice. Like go experience what you deserve to experience. You don't need to stay in the nightmare, right? You don't need to stay in the storm. That's Spirit letting you know there's so much more out there if you want it. Like, if you deserve it, you know you deserve it. Don't stay somewhere that won't give it to you then. You know, if where you are isn't going to give you what you deserve, but you still deserve it, well, go let yourself get it wherever it is. You deserve it. Warrior. Warrior. This is getting away from trading your ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. You know, you can't, like, ethical principles for victory at any cost. Meaning, if you were to put, like, well, let's just say hypothetically, because we're talking about, you know, partnerships and children and pregnancy and stuff like that. Maybe your ethical principle would be to keep the family together at all costs, right? No matter what, keep the family together at all costs. But that victory, you're shooting for that and being blind to the suffering of what's really going on with the other people, like the children around you, or the suffering you're taking on yourself, or the suffering that the masculine energy or partner energy is in, because they're not being pushed to excel or change. It's almost like being tippy-toed around and wondering, or being in this fear state of whatever. And getting into the light attribute of it, this is a strength, skill, and discipline, and a toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrificing, conquering the ego, getting out of your mind. That if you've put so much energy on a principle that's causing suffering, that you have such an instilled belief, right? Like in the sanctity of partnership, that you would sacrifice the happiness of everybody involved to maintain it instead of shooting for something different or better for everyone, then this is asking you to really reevaluate what kind of hero you want to be. Like, do you want to be the hero that kept the family together despite the fact that everybody's miserable and unhappy and it's toxic? Or do you want to be the hero that got out of that energy and allowed their, you know, their counterpart to go through the healing process to better themselves while you were also creating a better emotionally, you know, better environment, a more mentally, peaceful state of being, and allowing everybody to kind of grow that way. So it's really up to you what kind of warrior you want to be. You know, do you want to be a warrior for suffering, or do you want to be a warrior for your peace, right? And what you deserve. So here we go. Cards. Action cards. Yeah, love who you are, right? Let your ship sail. Maybe get back to spending quality time with each other. Because this is a union of hearts. It's a connection of love that defies explanation, you know. So this is a troubling, this is a, quite possibly, I mean, you could be dealing with a twin flame dynamic, you know, that it could get this challenging. But you have to love who you are. So, you know, I always tell people on the twin flame journey, when it comes to your counterparts, don't be afraid to step away and move into separation, because when separation's going on, whatever was not healing starts healing. You know, whatever wasn't healing starts healing, because you're forced to look in your own vibratory mirror, you know, your own vibrational mirror, and pick yourself up from there. And whenever you get yourself in that energy and you can maintain it, it'll put you in a position, you know, always considering the other and everything that you do to come back together at some point. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving of all the wonderful things that life has to offer. You deserve it. You deserve what you want in the dream. You deserve the Ten of Pentacles. You deserve someone who wants to spend, you know, personal time with you. You deserve that. You deserve a connection that's blissful. You deserve a connection that's rooted, you know, in something solid and worth it. And you've got to be able to choose that for yourself. And if it's not where you're at, then you need to be able to let it go so that it can come to you, whatever form it's meant to come to you in. And trust and discern, right? Trust and discern as you do that. Always. Discern everything. Everything. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. All right. To-do list. 1 hour, 8 minutes. And 30 seconds. Did I do that right? No, 58 minutes. What was I thinking? All right, here we go. I'm going to say 1 hour and 8 minutes. Okay. 58 minutes. To-do list. All right, Spirit. Here we go. Secret codename to-do list and those who would resonate to it. What does the storm look like so that they know what it is, so that it need not repeat? What does the storm look like? For secret codename to-do list. What does the storm look like? Spirit, please. All right. 5 of coin. Judgment. What else? Five of Cups and the King of Wands. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the 3 of Wands, Top of the deck is the Two of Wands. Listen, I think that you might be, whenever you're afraid of crossing a threshold, right? Whenever you're afraid of going through the portal, because your eye is closed, right? You're not seeing, there's a refusal to open your eye to the greater vision. We get this Five of Coins energy, or this abandonment of the self with the Judgment card, okay? Scorpionic energy. With the Five of Cups and the King of Wands. The instant feeling I got was reverting back to almost like almost, because I'm almost picking this up as like medication. I know they're coins, but the way it's coming off, you know, it's almost like this feeling alone, feeling bad for the self, feeling in this place of pity or sorrow and sulk, wanting something to be resurrected or wanting something to shine truth, like waiting for a divine resurrection of sorts, and then being careless or reckless, you know, and not necessarily wanting to stop your cycle. There's definitely some kind of, I'm just getting almost like an addiction to, when I say an addiction to, it's an addictive pattern. It's not something you necessarily chose, but it's an addictive pattern of self-like victimization. Like viewing yourself as a victim. It's like this emotional, spiritual relapse. When you feel alone or like you don't matter in the world. Maybe you feel like you have a to-do list a million miles long and you just don't want to think about the list. And you just want to forget about it. You know, you want to go out, you want to have fun, you want to be free, you don't want to, you know, think about anything. It's almost like wanting to be kind of numb to these emotions. All right, so what's after the storm, Spirit, please? If that's what the storm looks like, what's after the storm? Ugh, really, like it feels like my stomach's in knots. Like it's not, it's whatever it is. If you're drinking too much or partying too much or whatever it is that you're doing. It's definitely fucking with you. All right, Spirit, give me what happens after the storm? What does after the storm look like? Or secret codename to-do list. And those who would resonate to this reading. The Tower. The Hermit and the Star. Wow, 3 major arcana. Innocence of Swords on the bottom, with Temperance on top. I think it's only a matter of time before things come into alignment. Because someone's watching. Someone's watching with the Page of Swords. Or they're getting little intuitive pings, like they're thinking of you, kind of thing. And you need to balance out. I think you need to balance out, because what I'm getting with this energy, I'm feeling like when they think of you or you come into their mind, it's like sometimes they might want to reach out and they don't, and it's because of alignment. It's because of the misalignment with this energy, this storm energy. You need to be able to get out of your storm. So this is about radical shifts and changes, right? Going into it with full willpower into what is a hermit mode, into a hermit mode to seek, deeper wisdom about yourself and the things that you can do in order to create your soul wish, ultimately, which, would come along with getting out of this energy, right? That would come along with getting out of this storm. Give me some more insight, please, Spirit. What's the archetypal energy surrounding the storm? Mother in reverse. You might, this might stem back to issues with your mother. Okay, so if you're diving deeper, you have an issue with, substances that are, are being abused or something like that, where you're hard on yourself and you feel like saying, fuck it, if you're not good enough or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, this goes back to an issue that your mother kind of instilled on you. And so you're going to have to find, heart chakra work, you're going to have to find forgiveness there. You're going to have to find forgiveness there and go through a major, headspace change, right? Because Mars is ruled by Aries. It rules the head. So this is a huge epiphany kind of moment where you have to completely and radically shift a belief in order to shift your outer experience, and going on your own and protecting yourself and your own vibration and your own energy, moving away from the mountains, right? Getting over the hard part, getting over that hard part, and just recluding back into yourself so that you can heal, right? The star is also the healer. You need to be able to let yourself heal from this energy and separate your energy from that. The shadow attribute is smothering or abandoning children and instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. So your mother might instinctually complain that she feels alone, or complain that she, doesn't have some kind of support system in some way, some nurturing support system. And so she might, lean on you for that kind of support, and her energy, like maybe you don't necessarily feel like answering the phone sometimes. Maybe you don't necessarily feel like being on the phone for however long, maybe you only want to talk for 5 or 10 minutes, but it's always an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours, and it's like, or it's every day, 10 times a day, and you wish it would be, just once a day or every other day kind of thing. And I'm on to-do list. Yeah, you can't feel guilty because the energy that's, pulling at you or draining you, or that you feel obligated to, it's smothering. It's smothering. And that might be what you're doing in your own energy that's mirroring. You're smothering or abandoning your own inner child, right? Because, at some point, maybe your mother had really abandoned her own inner child, and she's projecting that at you, like, be there for me, be present for me, you're obligated to me, I gave birth to you, like, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit. And it's like, but you're your own person. So the light attribute is nurturance, patience, and unconditional love, and the joy in giving birth to life. This is you giving birth to your own life. You're giving yourself permission to live your own life, nurturing yourself. Major Cancerian energy. Love yourself. Don't deplete yourself, or put toxic chemicals into your body because you have a negative attachment to your mom, and that's the way it's manifesting. It's coming out as an addictive behavior that's self-destructive. So what action, Spirit? Yeah, take a chance on love. When we start to love, our lives are changed forever. Take a chance on loving yourself. Go somewhere new. Like the ship has sailed. You just do it. If that's the action, you go through that portal. You go through that door. You take that chance on yourself, and you just don't let you just Doesn't matter if someone makes you feel like you're obligated. You either are or you aren't. And if you tell yourself you're not obligated, then you're not. If you tell yourself it's your own life, then it is. If you say it's not acceptable anymore, then it's not. And it just is what it is. Focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. You and your mom might be very different in a lot of ways, and that's okay. You might not live the same kind of lifestyle. You may not have the same path planned, but that doesn't mean you can't understand each other. You can understand where your mom has her voids that she needs to fill, and how she's trying to fill them. It's just, it doesn't have to be you just because you're present. You can do your own thing, and she'll make do and find a way to nurture her own self, right, unconditionally, and meet other people and do other things. So, and it's card 23 and 24. So it's progress. It's definitely progress. All right. So I hope that helps. That was Secret Codename To-Do List. Last one, Yogi Bear. Yogi Bear, and I was totally pinged to it with, the visual of the cartoon of Yogi Bear, but the way that the energy read for me was like yogi, like a yoga master, right? Or a yogi, like, one of those guru yogi people, and bear, like protective energy, like super protective, like animal totem, which was the vibration. So even though it was Yogi Bear, the cartoon, that's what I got the code name from. It was definitely the vibration of Yogi and Bear. So secret code name Yogi Bear, and that was going to be 111. 1 hour, 11 minutes. We'll say 33 seconds, because I was talking about the code name. I want them to see it. Hopefully they don't miss it. All right. So, secret code name Yogi Bear. Secret code name Yogi Bear. Spirit, please. What does the storm look like? What does the storm look like for secret code name Yogi Bear? What does the storm look like, so that they know, so that it need not repeat? Got the Two of Pentacles in reverse, the Ten of Swords in reverse. I was going to take these two top cards. The High Priestess and the Four of Coins. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles. And the top of the deck is the Four of Swords. Okay. The Four of Swords in this deck, to me, being on the top of the deck, this is trying to navigate through things in the realm of the mind when it's not your natural strength. It's not your forte to navigate logically. You're more intuitive or more emotional, or things make sense to you more in that realm than it does trying to do things with logic and reason. And it's not comfortable, right? It's not comfortable to try. It's almost like walking on eggshells. It's almost like the same kind of energy. Trying to navigate through experience, not really knowing what to say or what to do next. And needing to just kind of take retreat. Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving, so it's almost like the storm is feeling really stuck. Feeling really stuck, like it's almost like a what's the point energy. Like you've been on this trail for so long. You don't feel like you can get grounded. And everything takes too long, right? It's almost like this feeling of impatience. Everything takes too long. 10 of Swords in the reverse with the 2 of Coins in the reverse. I think you have a no bullshit policy. I think you want things the way you want things because you don't want them to get fucked up. So it could be very controlling, which is why maybe the process is so slow. And you feel like you're kind of, you know, tinkering your way through it because there's this control element, right? There's this control element of wanting it to be a certain way, not wanting to juggle 2 realities, but wanting to make sure that it's done right. But you already know it's controlling, right? Again, with the 4 of Coins and the High Priestess, it's too much. Like, even the High Priestess is holding her hand up. It's too much. And there's an egg there. It's like something's birthing. She's like, don't you know something's birthing? You know, like, things take time. Things take time. This 4 of Coins, it looks almost like... I don't know if it's supposed to be grass or vines or snakes or sludge. I don't know what it is that's coming out of the coins. But she's sitting there looking up at it, and it's... Either way, whatever it is that's coming out of the coins, the whole point is it's running out. Like, it's running, it's like... It's just oozing down. This holding on. It's like you're so afraid of getting hurt or so afraid of the dream not becoming a reality that you're literally preventing the dream from becoming a reality. The fear of the dream not becoming a reality is the reason why the dream is not becoming a reality. All right. It's fear. It's fear in trying to control things. So that needs to be let go of. That's the storm. You go of control. So mentally, it's like you're trying to release a nightmare, but you're constantly in it. You know, you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get stabbed. And so maybe you're not taking risks. Maybe you're not, you know, taking the steps. Maybe it's stagnating and staying too still, like not willing to let anything change, not wanting to let anything evolve, not, you know, wanting anybody to go anywhere or whatever, you know, and it's just oozing. It's just oozing and keeping you stuck, and your intuition is telling you to just stop. Right? There's always something just telling you to stop. So what does this look like, Spirit, please, after the storm? If the control is released, if the surrender is welcomed, if the flow is welcomed, if the change is not feared, what does it look like after the storm? Yeah, Temperance and the Star. What else? Yeah, things come into balance, you get your soul wish. You know it's meant for you, or you wouldn't be trying to keep it so bad. It's just when you let go of the control is when you actually get to keep it. It's the trying to control it that's costing you it. You know, it's trying to control how it happens, when it happens, or with who, over whatever. You know, it's too many details that you don't need to be worrying about. The Devil, the Sage, the Six of Swords, and Justice. Yeah. So this healing, this balancing and this healing, right? This alchemy or integration of the soul wish. This Capricorn energy and this Taurean energy This is Uranus, right, in Taurus, and all of that crazy energy going on in Capricorn. Even though the aspects aren't, you know, exact or anything, I think Uranus is like 10 or 11 degrees, and then Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto are all at like, you know, 19 or 20 or 23, 27 degrees, something like that. Like they're all in there somewhere. I feel like the aspects between the two, it's really having to rewrite, like completely rewrite all that you think you know about how things should be in the 3D, and moving on to be completely open that it could be any way. You, like, as far as you know, you don't know shit. Right? The universe will tell you you don't know shit. Trust me. You think you can control it and make it happen a certain way. You have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Trust me, I'm the universe. I will show you how it's done. And so the universe is like, trust me. You know, bottom of the deck is the Hermit. Top of the deck is the Four of Pentacles. So you've got to be able to get a hold of yourself. Get a hold of yourself. And I think that's what you're going to do. I think you're going to be able to move forward from this. I think you go through major, major healing and a major shedding of the ego, right? And the control, which is the devil, right? The healing of the devil for the higher contract, the higher vision of what it was always supposed to be, right? In universal law, like where you're supposed to go in the forward movement in order to balance things. Okay, in order to balance things. You just need to release how or when. Release control, like complete surrender. Admit to the universe, you know what? You don't know jack shit. Fine, Spirit, I don't know jack shit. I'm willing, I'm open. So be it. I'm going to stop trying to control things. I'm just going to go with the flow and do what feels good and not worry about if it's, you know, proper etiquette, it's supposed to be this way, that way, whatever. I'm just going to do as I'm guided, and if it feels good, great, you know, and see what happens. Let go of the control. And we get Pioneer. Yeah, compulsive need to keep moving on. So you might be a runner or a chronic quitter. Like, nope, not good enough. Nope, not good enough. Nope, not good enough. You know what I mean? It's always, you know, trying not to sabotage yourself, trying to control things, not taking the right steps, you know, especially if it's love or work. You feel like you got to keep moving on, when really you kind of just have to turn your heart light on and have a passion for doing and creating what's not been done before. You know, it's not about doing the same thing over and over and having to keep restarting. It's about doing something different and allowing it to light you up, right? Allowing it to light you up. Coming out of the storm. Not quitting, but just being. Just being. What action in unconditional love can we take? Ooh. Oh, let's pull them. One more. For Yogi Bear. Yeah, rest and relaxation is essential. Look to your inner strength. And forgive yourself. And forgive yourself. You know, because if you're quitting all the time or saying no, you know, or whatever to yourself, you know, because if you're holding your hand up and you're saying no to yourself, that, you know, holding on kind of sucks. You know, things like envy start to creep in and you're like, well, how come everybody else has it and I don't? And because there's something in your behavior patterns that's trying to control things. You know, we all have a fundamental need to take breaks. You're stronger than you realize. Nothing can be gained by holding on to past disappointments. If you have to heal a history with someone because it didn't go the way you thought, it didn't go the way you wanted, this person was negative or narcissistic or controlling or whatever the fuck, and it doesn't matter how long ago it was, if there's a reason why you're so insistent on something being perfect now, it's because you're so afraid of what it would look like if it wasn't perfect anymore. because you know what that looks like. You know what that feels like. And so there's this, maybe this deeply rooted or subconscious fear that you would relive something you don't want to relive. And so it's just setting up unreal expectations for someone else to fill as a form of protection, right, that needs healing. So I hope that helps. That does wrap it up for day 1 of the secret code names. Tomorrow is day 2, so I will be back here live with you for day 2. And day 2 secret code names are going to be the White Rabbit, Hummingbird Magic, Blue Star Sapphire, Gray Crowned Crane, Gargoyle Guardians, and Shiva and Kali. So those are going to be the 6 readings for tomorrow. You're welcome, everybody. I love you guys. I hope these help. I hope that they resonated to you, that there was a message in there that you could take from it so that you don't have to go through this bullshit anymore, right? Because that's exactly what the fuck it is. And no one wants to deal with the shit. We all want to move on with our lives and start being happy and full, So I hope the messages resonate. Let me know in the comments. Thank you, everybody who liked and shared. And thank you for the donations and all of that stuff. I greatly appreciate it all the time. And until next time, guys, Divine Rebel Racey signing off. Remember, always love each other. And most importantly, love yourselves. Bye, everybody.